Paid for. Thank you. Okay, so this is exciting because we have somewhat of a, she has really nice straight hair. She has beautiful color already. Okay, so to start this haircut, I'm going to start right directly in the middle. Okay? I'm going to have her head just slightly tilted down. I'm going to take slightly diagonal forward. Diagonal what?
Forward.
Diagonal forward sections. Where did my clips go? Okay, thank you. Okay, slightly diagonal forward sections. Look down a little bit more to start this cut. Okie dokes. So, what I'm going to do to start is I'm going to use the fine side of my comb to control what?
Tension.
To control tension. I'm going to have her head slightly tilted down, and all I'm going to do is use my finger. You ready for this, sister? We're going to go pretty tight back here, alright? You're going to love it. It's going to look really good. And I'm going to cut it just like, like a ½ inch below her hairline, okay? So, as I want everybody to be able to see. So, as I comb this down with nice tension, I'm going in with the technique of what? Line, graduation, or layers?
Line.
Very simple. Okay?
That's like 3 inches.
Okay, going in with the technique of a line. Everybody see my stance right here?
Yeah.
You see this? This is the money-making stance, okay? Knees bent, hips forward. Okay? I'm not like this. Okay? I'm looking like I know how to cut hair, right? You guys want to charge for your haircuts? Then you got to get in your money-making stance.
Are you going straight across or are you doing it all over?
Nope, just straight across. Okay, any questions so far? Simple line, right?
What kind of scissors do you use?
Sharp scissors.
I think she meant what brand of shears do you use?
Yeah, good branded sharp scissors. No, I'm just kidding. My favorites, I have some Mitsutanis or Hanzos. Those are the two I use. Mitsutanis or Hanzos.
So
But if you just get yourself a,
They're straight and not curved?
Yeah, they're not curved. They're just, the handle is a little offset. But other than that, yeah, just a 5, I believe these are 5-inch. Yeah, you get yourself a good Japanese style sharp shear. You guys are students. I don't think you have to invest like, in these here, I believe these are like $1,500.
Only? That's it?
Only $1,500. I actually didn't pay for them.
Nice.
Yeah, which is nice. Enter the competition and I won them. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. But just you guys are in school. Just invest in a good, maybe $100. Just get yourself a good pair of shears to start. I don't think you have to. Usually I sharpen these maybe like 2 to 3 times a year. But I have so many. Let me show you guys. So yeah, I have probably like 8, 9 pair of shears. Big 7-inch ones.
Yes.
Another kind of 5.5 inch. All just different lengths. Not necessarily that you need 18 shears, Get yourself one good pair of shears to start. Okay?
Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, these ones. These Mitsutani ones, yeah. And even like these are really good. I think I paid $75 for these, and I use these all the time. Okay? These are just a nice. Actually, I don't even know the brand of these. It's a nice Japanese shear. Okay.
If you have a choice, you try and get forged steel rather than stamped, because forged is fixable. If you drop it, it could be resharpened. Some shears look good until they need to be sharpened, then you can throw them away. So It's not always what they look like.
Can you recommend a company who does sharpening of shears?
I
we
don't
all
know if
need
they're
it
doing it
actually.
anymore. Krem Shears in Simi Valley. Krems, Krems.
Hey, you want to know the honest truth too? What I would suggest for you guys, because this is true. You know, you probably don't have the money to invest in a good pair of shears, like a really, really expensive shear. Is get a decent pair and have them sharpened. To get them sharpened might be $25, $30, but if you get a decent pair, don't get like some super, super cheap ones and expect them to work amazing, but get a decent pair and just get them sharpened. Stuck. Okay, you guys with me?
Yeah.
Very simple. Line, right? Okay, look down a little bit more. I'm using, again, my finger. I'm using the fine side of my comb to control what again? Tension. At this point, do I have any action of over direction?
No.
Do I have any action of elevation?
No.
Very simple. All I'm doing is going in with a technique of a line. Yes? All right. So now, I did that. I got the length in. Now I'm going to take a vertical section on here. I comb this out. All right. I comb this out at 45 degrees. I'm using that underneath as a guide. And now I am going in and changing my technique to what?
Elevation.
So yes, I am elevating the hair. But what technique?
Graduation.
Graduation. Very simple, right? Very, 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 very simple. So I pulled that middle section up, and now I changed my technique to graduation. Is there any over direction right now?
No.
Straight out from that part, right? But I changed my technique now to graduation. I'm going to take another guide. Okay? I'm going to take a diagonal guide. And now notice how I'm using my fingers. My finger angle is following my parting, and I'm going to just kind of slightly start pivoting off of that middle section. That makes sense? So now another diagonal section. My finger angle is going to follow my parting, pull up, and I'm just going to continue with my technique of what? Graduation. So here's my last section from pivoting. Now my finger angle is following my parting. Now at this point, do I have a action of over direction? Yes, right? Okay, sorry. I'm slightly over directing, right? Because my finger angle is following my parting, right? So am I over directing?
Yes.
Yes. So what is over direction going to do? If I over direct it back, it's going to leave length towards the front. Make sense?
Yeah.
This is so easy, I promise. So easy. I'm going to cut the opposite side. Take a diagonal section. Pull it up. You see my guide? Pivoted sections. Okay. Take another section. Diagonal. Now my finger angle is following my parting, right? So it is allowing me, or it is making me over direct. So take my last section. Pull that up. Follow your guide. Parallel, right? See how parallel they are? Turn to this side. Finger angle, parting, parallel. Okay. So when you have clean sections equal clean results. And all I'm doing is my finger angle is following my partings. Alright? Who's lost? Yes. Okay, now let's keep going. Let's crank. I'm going to take another section. Alright. Drop that down. Diagonal forward or diagonal back sections? Diagonal forward. What's the difference? Diagonal forward is going down forward towards the face, right? Diagonal back is going diagonal back this way. A bob is a triangular shape, so you will cut it with what? Diagonal forward or diagonal back? Diagonal forward. Now here's a trick question, or not a trick question, but a bonus question. Pretend I'm cutting a round shape. A round shape is shorter in the front, longer in the back. What type of sections will I take? Dang, you guys are good. I'm trying to stop you. Yep, you'll take diagonal back sections, right? And stand in the front, you cut, it falls shorter to longer in the back. Right? When you really break it down, isn't it very simple? Like you know what you're doing before you do it. Very, very simple. Okay. Her head is slightly tilted down. Alright? So now I already established how I want my graduation to be, right? And I don't want it to be stacked so high. I like where it's sitting now. So all I'm going to do now is come back into this section. I'm going to start right in the middle. Start right in the middle. Okay? Look for my guide underneath. Everybody see it? There's my guide. So right in the middle, my fingers are completely flat. As I start working towards the left, my elevation is going to drop just a little bit. Alright, everybody see the guide?
Yeah.
And you see how in control I am? There's my guide. I cut. As I get towards the corner, my elevation is going to drop even more. Alright, and there's the guide, yes?
Yep.
And cut. Paul, what else can we look forward to on Beauty Underground?
Well, first thing I want to say is I know some of you signed up right after the ice show. For some reason those emails got lost because our website was still confused. So please sign up again. Don't just, we may find those, but just in case we don't, sign up the second time so that you're definitely in. Okay, so the Underground, the club, there's also the Student Underground, the event. Student Underground, the event is a trade show on May 6th and 7th in Anaheim. It's actually our 26th year, although we've rebranded and redone some of the stuff. It's a show for beauty school students and instructors, Sunday and Monday. Sunday is the right day for you all to come because you guys have school on Monday. We also have an event in October for some of you that are still in school. That one's in Glendale, which is a lot closer. But the Anaheim show, we have Brenton will be there. We've got amazing talent, classes in both barbering, haircutting. We have makeup there. We've got some skincare. We've got nails there. Tickets will go on sale in about 2 or 3 weeks. You'll be notified through the Underground as well as through the school. So look for the literature. And we have competitions. Competitions are free to enter. There'll be a barber battle. There's a combination fantasy hair and makeup, which is a team competition, requires 2 people. There's a bring a finished mannequin competition with a bridal theme. And there's also a bring a nail art in a diorama competition, kind of like what Skills does. So all those things are available come May. And I know you're going to want to come back and see Brenton. So Brenton also has an offer that to share with you at his salon, which is absolutely amazing. So I'll get out of your way.
Thank you, Paul. All right, so I drop down one side first, okay? So whenever we're doing this, I'm seeing it as like, I'll just show you. As I start in the middle, look how I'm just square. You see that? Basically, I'm pulling it out completely straight. Okay? Boom, I matched it to my guide. Now, as I get to the left side, I'm going to start following parallel to my parting. My elevation drops a little bit. You guys see that? Now, as I get to the section that's right below or right behind her ear, my elevation is completely down. Literally, my finger is touching her neck. Does that make sense? So think of graduation, right? It's stacked, and it gets lower, 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 right? So I'm doing the same thing with my elevation. Elevation was a little higher, a little lower. Now when I get towards the section behind the ear, my finger is, or my elevation completely changes. Good? Look how easy that is and clean that looks, right?
Can we skip this again?
Mm-hmm. So I'll show you guys with this side. So, come on this side. Continue with the same diagonal forward sections. I just mist the hair down. I don't want it soaking wet, just lightly mist it. Okay, when I'm in the middle here, elevation is up, flat. See that? Pulling it out flat. Now, I take my next section. My elevation drops down just a little bit. Sorry, so you guys can see on this side. Elevation drops. Now I'm in my section behind the ear. My elevation literally, I can have her tilt her head a little bit. So my elevation is literally super, super low. My fingers are touching her neck. And then cut. Got it? So look how you can already see there's more graduation here, and then it starts to get a little bit more blunt as it gets towards the front. Okay? Easy, right? Everybody's following? Any questions? Go ahead. Fernanda.
I've seen like many girls, or at least some of my friends have curly hair, and they have some hair like that, short in the back and then long in the front. How would you cut that out?
If they have curly hair?
Yeah.
It depends on how curly it is. Yeah. If it's really, really curly, it's probably best to blow dry it and then cut it. If it's too curly that you can't control it while it's wet. If it's that curly. If you can control it while it's wet and you can still comb through it and work through it, go ahead and cut it. And you still might blow dry it, flat iron a little bit to fine tune it while it's after, like a little dry cutting. But yeah, it just depends on how curly.
Would you like cut it like a little lower than straight hair, since like it's curly, no, just like bumped up?
So that just depends if they're going to wear their hair naturally curly sometimes. Yeah. If they do like to just put some product in, scrunch it, let it air dry, then it possibly is that you keep it a little bit longer so that it's actually in a nice shape when it's curly. Because you can cut it in a really short, cute style when it's straight, but now she wears it curly and it's going to poof up even more. So yeah, that just depends on if they're going to wear it curly as well. Yeah, good question. Okay, so now I'm working towards her left side, right? I'm going to change something a little bit. I want to have this side just to have a little asymmetry and something just a little bit different. I'm going to cut her left side square, okay? And then I'm going to cut her right side triangular. Got it?
Yes.
Left side square. So what's that mean?
Straight.
It's just straight across. Her right side's going to be triangular, okay? So if I'm going to cut this left side square, what type of section do you think I should take? It's so simple, guys. Just a straight across section, right? So simple. So then, when I'm cutting this side, and this is how I'm going to cut it. Her ear's right there, right? She has an ear. Believe it or not. Believe it or not, she has an ear, right? So what I'm going to do is, I change to the wide side of my comb. I put the comb in my square or triangular?
Square.
I put it in square. I bring this down. I use my shears. I push on top of the ear. I push on the bottom of the ear to make sure I release that tension so that after I dry it doesn't bounce back up. Okay? And I cut this whole section with no tension. And am I cutting it square or triangular?
Square.
Easy. Got it?
They're recording it on YouTube.
I know, but I can't see. That's why I
Oh.
put my phone.
If you have to,
I'm
come
watching
stand up.
From the phone. That's why I'm.
Very good. You good? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this left side. And then we'll finish the right side. You guys see how easy this is when you really break it down, right? So this is going to be a square side. So I take a straight square line. I bring this down so you can see the hair that's falling behind the ear. How did I cut the section behind the ear?
With no tension.
With
With
a lot
tension,
of
with a lot of
tension, with no elevation, right? Okay? So I go back to that and then just bring it in. Alright? So now I'm on this left side where her ear is. Same thing. Put my comb in square. Release the tension. Release the tension. Come in. Tilt your head just a little bit. And got it? Perfect. I'm going to take I come over here. Elevation drops a little lower. Behind the ear, no elevation. Lock my fingers in. And then as I get to the side where her ear is, now I'm getting into the interior, so I'm okay to hold it in my ear. Hold it in my hand. Correct? Imagine you can hold stuff in your ear.
That's pretty confusing.
Imagine you can hold stuff in your ear.
Kind of.
Okay? And add it in there. Who's lost? Yes. Okay. Now on my opposite side, I'm going to continue with triangular or square?
Triangle.
Triangular. Take a diagonal forward section. Okay, diagonal forward section. I'm back in my middle section back here. You know what's nice is you can go to one side, finish it, come to the other side and just finish it. You see that?
Yeah.
But what I didn't do is I didn't take a vertical section. You notice that?
Mm-hmm.
And cut only the back and then come back and try to add the front end. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
When I'm cutting the shape, I'm continuing with my sections like this to make sure my front and the back always stay connected. Okay? So everything just flows together. So now I'm going to work my right side, triangular. So I'll come back to the middle, higher elevation. Elevation drops. Always looking at my parting, my finger angle, making sure they're parallel. Behind the ear,
Hair cutting stance.
in my money making stance. Behind the ear, my fingers are completely locked in. I change my action. My elevation changes. Alright, now we're going to get into our triangular side. And this is the tough side. Who's right-handed? Majority, anybody left-handed in here? So you left-handies, this is going to be your harder side. For you right-handies, this is the harder side. Because look what you have to do over here. You know what I mean? You either got to come in this way or you got to come in this way. Does that make sense? If you're left-handed, it's easy. You just come in and, you know what I mean? But what you have to be careful of is if you're right-handed, we want to cut this way. Naturally, right? So we want to cut uphill. What happens when you start cutting uphill?
Catch your ear.
Ooh.
You cut too high.
Huh?
You cut too high.
Yeah, you cut too much hair off. Think of how a triangular shape falls. It falls shorter to longer this way.
Yeah.
So it's nicer to cut this way so it falls and your shears are pushing the hair short to long, right? But now when you're cutting this way, you end up cutting too much because you're cutting this way. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So you have to be very, very careful of that. So tilt her head over. I'm going, since it's a triangular side, I go in with my comb what? Diagonal forward. Very simple. I release the tension. Have her head as tilted as much as possible so it can be easier for you to get in there. Put your comb in triangular. Release your tension because she does have an ear. And then look what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in and keep this triangular, short to long. I always suggest try to come in backhanded. Backhanded? Is that a word? Backhanded? Backhanded? Okay? So that you can actually cut short to long. Sometimes we go here and we get too aggressive and boom, we start like losing that corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, we're doing good on time. It's 9:40.
At 10 o'clock, we get the hook. They're too young for the hook. They don't remember burlesque.
Alright, so come back a little more elevation. Elevation drops. All making sense, you guys? And now I'm going to tilt her head over so I can see. No tension behind very low elevation behind the ear. And then you guys can see what's considered the exterior and interior? You guys know?
Inside, outside?
Yeah. So you put your comb right on the side of her head. You see where the comb leaves the head?
Yeah.
Where that pretty much that parietal ridge is, right? Anything that's above that, so you're getting into the interior or the top of the hair, right? Or anything below it, that's where your line is. Does that make sense? So below it, that's where your length is or your line is. So now that I'm on top or I'm above the parietal ridge, I'm okay with pulling this up. Does that make sense? Because I know it's not going to disturb my exterior line. So now that I'm up in the interior, I'm going to keep it diagonal forward. So what do I do to make sure I keep length towards the front?
Overdrive.
Simple. Keep it simple. Alright, so I have this side falling triangular. Now I'm into the fringe pretty much, right? So notice what I'm going to do. I did a line, I did graduation, now what?
Layers.
Holla. So this is how I'm going to start my layering. Now that I'm into the top, I like this length in the front. You know, I really like long fringes or really short fringes. One of the two. That's what I've been into lately. Really long fringe or really short fringe. I'm going to keep her fringe long. So now that I'm into the interior, I'm going to use this back section. You guys see where I was cutting? As a guide, yes?
Yes.
Pull this hair up. Change to my fine side so I can control it. You guys see that guide?
Yes.
And then am I over directing?
Yes.
Why am I over directing?
To make the front look the length.
I want to keep that front long. Very good. So I'm taking these vertical sections. Over direct. Back. Everybody see the guide?
Yeah.
And cut. I'm going to take another section.
Is that a 180 or a 90?
Say that again.
Is that a 180 or a 90?
As far as like the layers go,
Like what you're doing right now?
you're talking about the layers that I'm pulling up? Yeah, pretty much just pulling it straight up from where it lives. Yeah. So what would you call it?
A 90 or
Yeah.
I don't even
No,
know.
it's pretty much 180, right? So I'm just pulling it up straight up. Yeah. 90 degrees would be coming out, yes?
That's right.
Yeah. So I'm pulling it straight up in a sense. So if I pulled it straight up, but I know I want to keep length in the front. So
Over directed.
see what I mean?
Yeah.
Good question. All right. Over direct back, keep that length, and I'm done. Yes? There's one little guy. Okay, let me double check this side. Pull it back. Questions? Fernanda, she is the question girl. That's good though. There's no.
On based on how long have you worked? You have cut yourself with the scissors.
I still cut myself. Actually, I just cut myself right now. Yeah, let us finish up class, and then if you guys want to come up, we'll take care of it.
National job site, so it will help you find jobs, and it's free to you.
Can you
What
throw this back
temperature were
on?
you doing your hair with?
Huh?
What temperature were you using?
I had it on the highest heat just so I can do it really fast. Yeah. Okay. Any questions, you guys? What do you guys think so far? So you know what? Sorry, really quick. You know what I think is nice is the shorter side, the square side. It always looks good when you kind of just tuck it behind the ear and it's shorter, right? I'm gonna finish up the haircut a little bit, just fine tuning it. But this right side, you know, you can kind of. Ooh, girl. Okay. All right. She says she normally wears her hair down the middle. I think it looks better with the side part with this. Okay. There's just some fine tuning I'm gonna do, which would be, you know, now that it's dry, you can see here, right? That needs to get cleaned up. In the back here. Right? I wish I had more time to really blow dry that good and flat iron it good, but we
You
don't.
saying it wasn't a good blow dry?
No. Actually, I'm saying my flat iron wasn't good. Okay? And then this is where now you can just do a little bit more fine tuning. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily like cutting it shorter, but you go in and just finish up.
And you know, this is really important because there's often times when you're behind the chair, you're running late, your client is never going to see the back of her hair, so you have that tendency to just let her go with it looking rough like that instead of taking that extra 2 minutes that Brenton's doing and making sure that it's clean, because even though she may not see it until she comes back, somebody else is going to see it.
Yep.
So take that extra time. That's what your client's paying for. That's why you have the client and someone else doesn't.
Very good. She has thick hair too, so now I'm changing my technique just a little bit. I'm cleaning it up, but I'm going in, you see, with a little bit more point cutting, just so that it's a nice strong line, but then it's also like a soft strong line, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yes.
Right? So this square side, look at it, just bring it down, no over direction. So you're gonna see that little length, right? Because I left that length when I was compensating for her ear. Look how even it is. You see that? It's nice and even. There's no hole right there, but I can just finish cleaning that up. Yeah?
Yes.
Now, my triangular side, where this line is, just combing it down, over directing the hair which way? Yep. This is the triangular side, so I will bring the hair backwards to make sure I'm leaving that length towards the front. So simple, right? Clean that up. I can double check my layers. Nice deep point cutting just to give a lot of texture inside. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I wish I had more time just to really talk to you guys and work on this even more, but everything makes sense, yes?
Yes.
Just to recap so we can wrap up, you guys can take your break and get ready to get your day started. Follow us on our Instagrams. Make sure you get on Beauty Underground. Get registered for that. Okay? It's going to be a lot of live classes. Amazing educators. People I even look up to. So it's going to be nice that we're all on the same platform teaching and educating. Okay? You guys can also visit my website, brentonleepro.com. I have a website, Brenton Lee Pro, or my Instagram, Brenton Lee Pro. We got some education and things like that up there. Look out for a Bear Star coming up. Okay? Write your goals down. Plan. Set yourself up. Remember those 5 points. Never forget these simple things. Every single haircut has this in it, okay? So remember all those things we talked about. Anything else, Paul?
See you guys at the underground.
Woo! Yes! Give yourself a hand.